The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Rich Stadium, it's the New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Yugo, everybody needs a Yugo sometime. And by Merrill Lynch, your world knows no boundaries.
Welcome to the start of the Jim Kelly era in Buffalo. A sellout crowd, more than 80,000 here at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. First sellout in 3 years. They're getting ready for the Jets and the Bills. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with Bob Gracie. And there is Jim Kelly, who was to start for the New Jersey Generals against the Memphis Showboats next Sunday. But instead, he's here in the National Football League getting set to make his debut. The Jets won the toss. They will receive, and back deep, Bobby Humphrey, Michael Harper, JoJo Council, Scott Norwood with the kickoff. And a deep one. Humphrey stays right there. So the Jets from the 20, Ken O'Brien at quarterback, Freeman McNeil, who saw limited action during the preseason, and Tony Page, the running backs. And a tremendous group of receivers led by Wesley Walker, Al Toon, the tight end Mickey Shula. Some remodeling of that offensive line that is anchored by the captain, Joe Fields. The Jets looking to build on last year's record of 11-5 and a wild card playoff berth. And off the swing intended for McNeil. Guy Frazier, the outside linebacker, on the coverage. As we check out the Bills defensively, up front, Sean McNanny, who replaced the veteran Ben Williams. Fred Smerlas looking to return to his Pro Bowl status of several years ago. Bruce Smith, #1 draft pick overall last season, and coming off a fine preseason. George Cumbie, a recent addition. Eugene Marv has been the solid man among the linebackers. Second down and 10. Here's McNeil, could not make the turn. Darryl Talley, number 56, the outside linebacker in his 4th season out of West Virginia, making the stop on McNeil. The Buffalo secondary, Burrows and Romes, a couple of quarterbacks, and Steve Freeman and Martin Bayless are the safety men. The Bills hoping to turn it from last year's record of 2 up and 14 down. In fact, they've won only 4 games the past 2 years.
Marv, the Bills defense has always been tough in the openers, and here they've got 80,000 fans cheering them on.
Rod Hill as the nickel back, 3rd down 8. And it was nearly picked off by the left corner, Derek Burrows. The pass intended for Al Toon. And this crowd just loved the first series run by the Jets.
The Jets going into a pretty stiff wind. Toon on the top of your screen will hook to the inside. He doesn't come back to the ball, the mistake he makes, and Burrows almost picks it off.
And Bob, this crowd anticipating the first series to be engineered by Jim Kelly. Dave Jennings will punt. Back at a 6, another USFL refugee, Walter Broughton, out of Jacksonville State, is back at his 40-yard line. And Broughton comes up for it. So the Bills will take over right around midfield. Only a 31-yard punt by Jennings, and here comes Kelly. And what is he thinking about?
At this point, Marv, he's trying to calm himself. He just wants to get this thing started off correctly. Make sure he gets the snap. Make sure he gets the first play on a positive note.
The Bills start out from their 47-yard line. possession, and Kelly throwing on first down and complete. The tight end, Pete Metzelaars, for the first down. Jackson and Hamilton on the stop. A 13-yard pass play. Number 88, Pete Metzelaars, along with Jerry Butler and Andre Reed, are the receivers for Jim Kelly. Pete Metzelaars did not make a catch during preseason. And there is a suspect offensive line. You'll recall some of the disparaging words let out by Kelly before he signed with the Buffalo Bills. First down at the 40. And Kelly to throw again. This one of the assets of Jim Kelly, who is a very big, strong man.
Very true, Marv. He is a big, strong quarterback, but he is also mobile. Here he goes in play action. He looks downfield. His receivers are covered. He looks to another side of the field and still covered, tucks it under his arm and gets upfield. One of the problems the Bills had last year was with turnovers. They were last in the National Football League in giving the ball away. Kelly made a positive play out of something that could have ended up a little bit worse.
Second down and 6 from the 36. We're just underway in Buffalo. No score. And the handoff to Greg Bell. And he is snagged up. Greg Bell, coming off a sprained right ankle, sat out the final preseason game against the Bears, and Bell was stopped by Gastineau and Hamilton. Up front, Barry Bennett, Joe Klecko, Mark Gastineau. They'll do quite a bit of alternating between the 3-4 and the 4-3. Jackson, Clifton, Mel, and Crable are the linebackers. And there have been many questions about the Jet secondary, particularly at the left cornerback position, which during preseason was shared by Kerry Glenn and Davlin Mullen. Again, it's Metzelaars, a surprise weapon here in this first quarter. Bobby Humphrey, man who made the conversion from offense to defense on the stop. But Buffalo with an 8-yard pickup and another first down.
The Buffalo Bills are in I formation, not a good passing formation. The Jets came with 6 defensive backs expecting pass, and still, as you said earlier, Marv, Metzelaars, who didn't catch a pass in preseason, has caught the first 2 passes of the Kelly era in Buffalo.
Was he a preseason decoy?
But we were told we may see some things a little differently.
First down at the 28. Ricky Moore and Greg Bell, the running backs. And that's Moore, the fullback. Third-round draft pick of the 49ers last year. First-year man out of Alabama. He spent the season on the injured reserve. So a second down play coming up. What do you look at as the keys for today?
Well, I think first for the Jets, Ken O'Brien has taken over as the most valuable player on that team. McNeil has always been good. And for Buffalo, it's their offensive line. They've got to give Jim Kelly some protection.
Second down and 8. Bell looked as if he had a motion to throw and then broke it for another first down. A 14-yard pickup for Greg Bell in his 3rd season out of Notre Dame.
A lot of I formation, Marv. The Jets see I formation and they think run first. And this is what we're getting. A little toss to the wide side. And you see now he sets up the block to the outside, ducks inside. I formation is a good, strong running formation. You don't normally see many passes as Bell gets up for a big first down.
And Kerry Glenn, second-year man out of Minnesota, who's had success against Buffalo, had 2 good games against them last season as a rookie, is down.
We were told, Marv, that if anything happens to Glenn, Bobby Humphrey, the ex-receiver who has been a reclamation project this training camp and has been doing very well, would be the first one in.
We'll get another look at that last play, and it looked like the high-driving Greg Bell caught Glenn with a knee.
It's up around his, maybe he got a shoulder or possibly kicked in the head. Yes, he is sitting up. He seems to be all right. Maybe a few cobwebs.
Well, we have a moment. Let's check out the scores. Our NBC 10-minute ticker, and Chicago involved in a tough one with the Cleveland Browns. A game featuring a 91-yard kickoff return by Dennis Jeffrey.
A lot of points, surprising in that game.
Buddy Ryan of the Philadelphia Eagles in his NFL head coaching debut having a tough day. And we have final scores. Houston walloping Green Bay, and Detroit over Minnesota. San Francisco having an easy time with Tampa Bay, and Atlanta over New Orleans.
Houston winning big at Green Bay. They are a much improved ball club. We see Kerry Glenn. It seems like he may have just been checking all of his facilities up in his head a little bit. I think he'll be all right.
And jet trader Bob Reese helping him off the field. Bobby Humphrey has come on, replacing Glenn. 7th play of this drive. Buffalo first down at the Jet 12. 5 minutes gone by, first quarter. Look out. And the first flag's a throw. It appeared to be Klecko, a bit over-anxious. Now, he gets off the ball real fast, but not that fast.
Well, Klecko is the dominant force. I said a little early, the key to the game for the Buffalo Bills. The key to the game for the Bills has got to be the offensive line, and more particularly as we see Klecko coming in too quickly, is Hall, the center, handling Klecko. Klecko will win many more of those battles than he will lose.
And the referee, Jerry Markbright, calling a personal foul on Joe Klecko. As you look at today's officials, Joe Klecko had some strong things to say about Jim Kelly during the course of the past 2 weeks, responding to some of the bravado by Kelly. That's Bell. Close to the goal line. Greg Bell was not supposed to start. Rob Riddick, who had an excellent preseason, and a player who had shown some flashes in the past, was slated to be the starter, but Bell, despite the ankle, is in there. There's Hank Fuller in his first full season as head coach of the Bills.
And he's done a great job with his young team. He's gotten rid of some of the old veterans. He had a tough, hard-nosed camp. These players are ready to play. Of course, most teams coming out of training camp are anxious to get it on, but Hank, the disciplinarian, and of course Joe Walton has done a great job with these Jets, and they're anxious to get this game going.
2nd and goal from the 1. And Bell with a second effort trying to place the ball over the plane of the goal line, but did not.
Marv, one of the things that the Bills will be trying to do is run away from Klecko. If he lines up in the right gap, they'll try and run left. And if they line him up in the left gap, they're going to run right. They do not feel like their center, Hull, can handle him one-on-one, so they're going to run away from where Klecko is lined up.
Kent Hull, another product of the USFL, a former New Jersey General, and that's Kelly over Hull. 3rd and goal from the 1. And Kelly off the roll, touchdown. Crowd of 80,000 showing up to see what they just saw. Jim Kelly with a beautifully executed opening series connecting with Greg Bell. The Bills lead the Jets 6-0. Scott Norwood attempting the extra point. The punter, John Kidd, will put it down. Nine plays, 53 yards in just under 5 minutes. Capped off by Kelly, connecting with Bell. And Buffalo jumping in front, 7-0.
I don't think you could have written it any better. As we'll see the replay here, Kelly goes to Bell. As Bell goes to the outside, the two outside receivers went in. We'll take a look at it right here. As Bell lined up in the backfield right here is going to break to the outside. These two wide receivers will come in, creating a traffic problem for the man to the inside that has to cover Greg Bell. The two wide receivers come in. As you see, all the traffic. Bell breaks to the outside. Kelly rolls that way. A very easy throw for his first touchdown in the NFL.
And with this loud crowd and the acoustics here at Rich Stadium make for a tremendous place for the home team to play. The Jets felt they wanted to get on the board early to jump in front to keep this crowd quiet. But here are the Bills in front by the score of 7-0 as Norwood gets set to kick off to the combination of Humphrey. That's Humphrey, Hopper, and Townsend. And again, a beautiful kickoff. And no return. So the Jets will resume from their 20. But first, this NFL update.
Story in Chicago. Bernie Kosar, 15 yards, flip over the middle to Brian Brennan. It brings the Browns to within 34-31. But now the Bears have the ball in Browns territory. 2.5 minutes remaining. Bears in possession, leading by 3. Mark.
Thank you, Bob. New York Jets first down from their 20-yard line. Ken O'Brien, the quarterback. Freeman McNeil and Tony Page are the running backs. And O'Brien with the swing. That's Page.
That's complete to Page, number 49.
An 11-yard advance and a first down. And we've received word on the left corner, Kerry Glenn of the Jets, who took the hard hit but is all right. And it's expected that he'll be back.
Just had his bell run, and that first drive by the Bills, Marv, you can tell that the Buffalo defense is pumped up. The offense did something on the first drive that pumps up the defense.
Jets first down at the 32. They go double tight end with Schuler and Cleaver and go back to the ground. Freeman McNeil, who might be a little slow in getting into it. Now, Joe Walton gambled during the course of the preseason. He felt what he would attempt to do is to lessen the chance of injury because McNeil has been an injury-plagued player. Sat him out the first 2 games and then began to get him into it the last 2 games of preseason.
I think it was the right thing to do, but he may be a little rusty coming into this one.
2nd and 7. Sideline pattern for Al Toon. And a first down. Charles Romes, the right corner, on the coverage. An 8-yard pickup. Al Toon in his 2nd season out of the University of Wisconsin.
Toon was saying just the other day how much more comfortable he feels, Marv, after going through a complete training camp. You learn the little, the small things about running routes. As you see, just a little stop pattern. It's good for Toon, good for O'Brien to get the drive going.
And good for a first down from the 43. Mix up on the snap. And it appears that O'Brien or Fields able to cover up. Ken O'Brien, who has vivid memories of opening day of last season, memories he would like to file last year at the Coliseum in L.A. O'Brien was sacked 10 times. Raiders beating the Jets by the score of 31-0, but then the Jets turned it around the very next week by clobbering the Bills. Here's McNeil, and they stall under. Good job by the linebackers, led by George Cumby, who was released by the Green Bay Packers a couple of weeks back, signed by Buffalo following the broken leg injury suffered by Jim Haslett.
And that was a critical loss for the Bills defense. Haslett, their leading tackler a year ago. You may wonder, how can Cumby come from another team, waived last year, and be starting the following week for the Buffalo Bills? Well, Forrest Gregg, the coach at Green Bay, had Jack Patera, the defensive coordinator, and also Hank Bull under his system, so Cumby knows the system.
3rd down and 10. O'Brien with some time, in trouble, and fires incomplete. Al Toon in the vicinity, but a good pass rush by the Bills. So Dave Jennings will come on. Heading away only a 31-yard punt earlier this quarter, and it led to that long series by the Bills leading to the touchdown. We have 6:15 to go in this first quarter. Walter Broughton is back inside his 20-yard line. Prater nearly got a piece of it. Off the mix-up. That's Cleaver getting a shot at it. And the Jets indicating they've recovered, and they have. So a break for the Jets.
The Jets almost had it to begin with, but the rule states it was a muff, and you cannot advance a muff. And if the player knew that, he would have just tried to recover it and not tried to advance it. It's a big break for the Jets, and a tough loss for the Bills.
It appeared that Tom Baldwin, backup nose tackle, made the recovery. Guy Frazier was shaken up off that scramble for the ball, so the Jets take over now.
Number 25, receiving team, decline, first down, New York Jets.
We'll take another look. The free agent dropping the ball, and this is one of the things that the Bills want to get out of their system. Hank Bullock trying to diminish the number of turnovers. He said it's tough enough to win when you're not a top team in the National Football League, and how can we, the Bills, win? Bullock was saying if we're turning the ball over, and they turned it over more last year than any team in the league, as I'm sure Joe Walton and the Jets are very happy to be in this position.
Rod Hill was called for a hold. Penalty, of course, declined. First down outside the 15. And here is McNeil with the big opening. Another first down. Steve Freeman caught him from behind. It'll be a first and goal off the 17-yard rush by McNeil. And a check of the scoreboard. Chicago opening a 41-31 lead in the fourth quarter. Washington all over Philadelphia. And those two final scores from the early game, victories for Houston and Detroit, will keep you posted every 10 minutes or so on our 10-minute ticker. Some of the games in progress. Denver getting out in front. And Kansas City over Cincinnati. As McNeil on first down picks up a couple. Again, the tackle by Freeman with some help from Rhodes. 5:19 left. This first quarter, Buffalo with a 7-0 lead on the drive engineered by Jim Kelly. Capped off by the touchdown pass from Kelly to Bell. New York Jets turning it around last season with a record of 11-5 after 2 straight years of 7-9, but then lost to New England in that wild card playoff game. Straight ahead move for the touchdown. Tony Page, who is the classic short yardage man. He scored 8 on the ground a season ago. Able to drive through, and the Jets now trail 7-6.
The Jets opened up with a 2 tight end offense, and when they got the fumble on the Broughton punt return, quickly went back to their normal offense and got the ball into the end zone.
And now Pat Leahy, 13-year veteran out of St. Louis University, will attempt the extra point. Pat Ryan holding. So the Jets and the Bills have tied at 7 with 5:14 remaining in this first quarter.
Or a good block on this last play. You see the wingman coming back in motion, and he's going to block right over the nose tackle right here as the McNeil gets up and into the end zone for the touchdown. Smerlis is double teamed. Good fake by O'Brien, and a nice touchdown for the Jets.
And the Jets getting set to kick off to the Buffalo Bills. How quickly do you feel Jim Kelly will become an impact player? Now, Marino did it very fast. Elway took some time. What about Kelly?
Well, Shula with Marino took it very slowly. In Denver, Elway had to go in right away because they were in a situation similar to what Buffalo is. They need him in there right now. The fans in Denver wanted him in there. Kelly has to go in right now because he is the savior for this franchise. All the people up here have been saying that. Obviously, he is not. He needs more help. It's going to take some help from the other players. Buffalo still needs a bunch of players to make this a championship team, but Kelly will get better each week.
Well, Although Coach Hank Bulla says Kelly is not our savior, he's our leader, trying to lessen the pressure.
Exactly.
And the kickoff by Leahy. Rob Riddick on the return. Beautiful move by Riddick. Only Leahy is back, but he's caught from behind by Bobby Humphrey. A gorgeous move by Riddick for a 49-yard kickoff return.
Riddick was the one bright spot for the Bills offensively in preseason. And, of course, Humphrey, who caught him, the fastest man on the Jets roster. The poor kick into the wind. Riddick runs with the return. It's a middle return. Nothing is there and spins out. Now, Leahy won't get him, but Humphrey does. As the Bills, again, with good field position for Jim Kelly.
Off the short punt by Jennings, they had the good setup, and right here off the return by Riddick. Kelly getting good protection. Intended for Metzelaars, emerging as his favorite receiver here in the first quarter. All right, we're set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas at NFL 86.
All right, again, keeping track of the developments at Soldier Field. Here is Matt Suhey capping a Bears drive with some tough running. He maintains his balance, goes in from 6 yards out. Inside 2 minutes to play, and the Bears apparently comfortable, up by 10.
All right, Bob, and here in Buffalo, just under 5 minutes remaining, first quarter. Jets and the Bills tied at 7. Jim Kelly with his first NFL incompletion, and Kelly to throw again, surrounded, and down he goes. Bennett and Gastineau combining on that stop.
The main man that the Bills have to keep out is Joe Klecko, 73, as you see. Hull, 67, fighting on him, and Richer, 51, as you see the double team. That is the one man they want to keep out, getting more attention than even Gastineau at this point. And a good job with the rest of the Jets getting in there and making the sack.
Third down, 13 from the Jet 40. Kelly out of the shotgun. And a flip that did not work. Rob Riddick on the shovel pass. Is that from the Mouseketeer offense of the Houston Gamblers?
A lot of teams will use that against the Jets. A hard rushing offense, a defensive line, particularly at Gastineau, who is up the field so much, creates a nice gap or an opening inside. They'll draw Gastineau up with the quarterback as bait and then flip the ball forward. That time obviously did not work.
And the punting unit comes on. John Kidd in his third season out of Northwestern. From midfield, and punts one. It carried in. Not the intent of Kidd, so they'll bring it out to the 20. It goes down as a 39-yard punt, and the Jets will take over at their 20-yard line. John Kidd has come on as one of the better punters in the NFL, a very busy man last year. In fact, set a new NFL record, dropping 33 punts inside the opponent's 20-yard line.
While only kicking 4 into the end zone as a touchback, and that was, he'd have to classify that as a poor kick because that was highly unusual for him.
O'Brien on first down, able to complete the sideline pattern. Altoon on the reception. A 13-yard pass play. Rose and Burrows on the coverage.
I think the Jets have to attack through the air first, Marv. I think the Bills are stacked against the run. The Jets last year wanted to establish the run, wanted to get McNeil going, and that is one thing that the Bills are going to take away from them early in this game, and I think the Jets need to get their passing game going early.
Second reception for Toon. First down at the 38. Beautiful throw by O'Brien underneath the coverage. And Wesley Walker has his first reception. And another Jet first down, a 13-yard advance. Derek Burrows, the left corner, on the stop.
Well, they moved Walker to flanker this year, which means he's on the same side as the tight end. You may get a lot more zone coverage on that side. And here he just runs it in, catches the ball well, and then tries to get away from Burrows. But Burrows, with the good speed, brings him down. 2 good first downs for the Jets.
O'Brien is 4 for 7. Hector. Out to midfield. Eugene Marv, the inside linebacker on the right side, making the stop. And let's check out the scoreboard. That's now a final. The Bears win their opener over Cleveland in a shootout. Washington over Philly. L.A. Rams knocking off St. Louis. Houston beats Green Bay. Detroit over Minnesota. San Francisco, easy time with Tampa Bay. A host of blowouts. Atlanta over New Orleans. Second down and 6 from the 50. To the ground again. And here's Hector. Close to the first down marker. Darryl Talley, Steve Freeman. Able to combine for the stop. And some other games in progress. Raiders and Denver now tied at 7. San Diego out in front of Miami, 17-0 in the first quarter.
It's really not surprising, Art. The Dolphins have not done well on the coast.
Third down and 1. Why would a team not do well on the coast?
The Dolphins have never done it. It's a long trip. I don't know. It's one of those strange things.
Was overthrown, intended for Hector, or perhaps thrown away on purpose, but a flag is down. Hector was covered closely by the free safety, Steve Freeman.
And good pressure by Eugene Marv, who knocked O'Brien down just as he was releasing the ball.
And it's against the Bills. Or rather, against the Jets.
Like an offensive push.
Minute 17 remaining in this opening quarter here in Buffalo. And we'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Cleveland Browns and the Chicago Bears. With the Bears getting by the Browns 41-31.
Offense.
Marv Albert along with Bob Greasy from Buffalo. Packed house here for the debut of Jim Kelly. And the Jets and the Bills are tied at 7. It was called on Rocky Cleaver. Offensive interference. So a third down and 11. The Jets from their 45 led up to the line by center Joe Fields. Alexander and Banker at the guard. Sweeney and McElroy at the tackles. And O'Brien with the swing. Brennan McNeil. Stopped by Cumbie and Burrows. We're set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas, NFL 86.
Well, Marv, it's another renewal of hostilities between the Raiders and Denver, this time at Mile High Stadium. Mark Wilson over the middle to last year's MVP Marcus Allen. He goes 24 yards for the touchdown. Earlier, Elway to Watson for 35, so they're even at 7 in the first.
Bob, and the Jets coming short of the first down. So here is Dave Jennings to punt from inside his 40-yard line. Walter Broughton had an adventure the last time he was back in punt formation, which led to the Jets recovering a muff. Jennings popping it very high, and Broughton a little shaky there, but called for the fair catch. So a 25-yard punt. The Bills will take over right after these words. About to take over at their 26-yard line, and Jim Kelly, along the lines of Bob Greasy, a very cocky type guy, actually showed his poise the first couple of series. He looked very well.
I was surprised. He did a lot better than I did in that similar situation about 15, 18 years ago. I had talked to him before the game, and he said the other day he went up to the line of scrimmage in practice, and he hollered out the cadence for the Houston Gamblers. So he's going to have that problem. You know, he may get in the huddle and call a formation or a play for the Gamblers, but, you know, that'll flash back at him every now and then. But certainly the field position that he had on the second drive was very helpful.
And Kelly has received 4 out of 5 through the touchdown pass to Greg Bell to get the Bills in front. We're now tied at 7. Play action. Kelly going sideline. That's Jerry Butler for the first down, a long gainer. 24-yard pass play.
The thing the Bills do, and talking as we'll take a look at Butler's pattern, he's just going to go down and break to the outside. Little play action as he runs off Kerry Glenn, who is back in the ballgame. Play action, holds the pressure, holds the rush. rush, and then he gets the ball to the wide receiver.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Rich Stadium. With the score, the Jets 7 and Buffalo 7. Back in Buffalo, Jets and Bills tied at 7. The Bills first down at midfield as we get underway, second quarter. Greg Bell to the outside. And stacked up short of the 45-yard line, Glennon Hamilton able to combine as you check out the first quarter statistics. That first Bills drive led to the touchdown, consumed almost 5 minutes, and then the Jets owned the ball.
It was a very impressive drive. The thing I'm impressed with is Kelly not getting shook. The Bills have a very basic offensive plan for Kelly. The Jet defense, very complex. It's very tough for a man like Kelly with only 3 weeks in the offensive system to come in and play a complex defense like the Jets.
2nd and 7 from midfield. Kelly is 5 for 6, 47 yards, 1 touchdown. That's Bell, 28 in motion. Big rush, and Kelly able to complete. Chris Burkett has a first down. Burkett, a second-year receiver out of Jackson State, had a 5-catch day here against the Jets last December. Clifton and Lyons on the rush. Clifton able to make the tackle on Burkett, but you'll see Marty Lyons.
Right here is Lyons as the center and the right guard are fighting in. Lyons gets right up the middle as Hull is worried about Klecko. Lyons starts to the outside, a little arm over, and the rookie Wolford, 73, is beaten, but Kelly should have been sacked, got rid of the football, and made a positive play out of it for the Bills. Very impressed with Kelly's presence. He's a veteran from two USFL seasons, knows what to do with the ball when things don't go just right.
That was a 14-yard pickup, first down at the 38. Ricky Moore looking for the hole. Gets to the 32-yard line, stopped by the outside linebacker, Bob Crable. Let's check out other games in progress. Raiders and Denver are tied. Elway threw a 35-yard touchdown to Steve Watson. Mark Wilson to Marcus Allen for 24. And look at that San Diego-Miami score. Fouts has thrown 2 and a 26-yard field goal by Benushka. Second down and 9 at the Jet 32. And as Bell peeling off. Kelly looking for Bell, then goes the other way, and it is batted away, broken up by Russell Carter. The pass intended for Chris Burkett.
Good coverage by Carter, #1 draft choice from last year. Here's Klecko in the right gap between Hull and Wolford. Hull does a pretty good job this time until Klecko gets around him. Kelly going to the right as he is feared that the ball might be intercepted. But Carter with a good play as the crossing pattern did not work for the Buffalo Bills.
And it sets a third down and 9 at the Jet 32. 2 minutes gone by. Second quarter. Big rush. Kelly able to elude it, but incomplete. Intended for Bell. Lester Lyles on the coverage of that man, Greg Bell, who has made it back from the sprained right ankle and has not shown any problems. And here comes the punting unit for Buffalo. John Kidd is in. Not a good sign for a team, Bob, where the punter is the second or third most exciting player on the club. That was the case last year with John Kidd.
I'm surprised that Kidd's even out there. They're punting from the 32-yard line. It's into some wind.
Oh, it's a trick play, and Kidd throwing sideline, and it is broken up. But a penalty marker throw. Looks to be JoJo Townsell, who says, "Who, me?" Now, John Kidd is the Buffalo Bills' disaster quarterback should anything happen to Kelly and Wright. And Kidd out of punt formation throwing the pass.
What they're talking about over there now is, was it defensive pass interference? Townsell, normally a wide receiver, we get the call from
Illegal hand to the face, number 27, defense, automatic first down.
What happened happens there, Marv, is they said 27. They're expecting a punt. Now, the wide man for the Bills is going down and see if we can, I can't tell who it was, but they said that Carter, 27, stayed with him more than 5 yards. Of course, Carter, thinking it was a punt, stayed with him more than 5 yards, and since it was a pass, defensive interference.
It would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt for Norwood, but instead they showed the punting game, and the Bills get a break off the penalty. First down at the 27-yard line. Here's Bell into the line. Picked up a couple. Kyle Clifton, the inside linebacker, on the tackle. Buffalo up front with Ken Jones and Joe Devlin at the tackles, both coming off disappointing seasons. Both bulking up for this year. Jim Richer and the rookie #1 draft pick Will Wolford are at the guards, and Kent Hull, the center. Tim Fodler was to start. He's out with a knee injury. And Hull, by way of the Generals of the USFL, is the starting center. So he and Kelly worked some in the Generals minicamp back in May. 8th play of the drive. Kelly with time. And has Ricky Moore. And looked to be a fumble. It was, and recovered. The Jets thought they had it.
I think they do, Marv.
Kerry Glenn appeared. Yes, it is Glenn on the ball, and the Jets have taken over.
Moore tries to make a move, and he holds the ball out, and he should get the ball knocked out. Watch him as he does the ball arm over right there, and Glenn strips the ball loose. That wasn't Glenn. Who was it? That was Hamilton, I believe. I couldn't tell, but it was Glenn that got on the ball for the recovery.
And the Jets take over. That's Ricky Moore, first-year player out of Alabama, coughing it up, tied at 7, and we'll take this timeout.
Today's game is brought to you by America's Best Back Trucks. At Dodge, we don't just talk tough, we prove it. By Radio Shack, a division of the Tandy Corporation. And by Wheaties, 100% whole wheat for energy to feel like a champion. Wheaties, what the big boys eat.
Back at Rich Stadium in Buffalo, Marv Albert with Bob Greasy were early second quarter. The Jets and the Bills tied at 7. First down from the 27. The completion to Walker across the 35-yard line. Rose and Burrows on the stop. And they're placing it right at the first down marker.
Take a look at what happened the last 7 games last year as Toon really came on at the end of the season. Jets in great shape as far as wide receivers, passing game. Sure, of course.
It is just shy of the first down. And now the first down picked up by McNeil and then fumbles it. Penalty marker is down. Jets on the recovery, but a flag tossed. Derek Burrows came up hobbling out of that pileup. And here is Jerry Markbright.
Illegal hands to the face. Number 76, defense, automatic first down.
Number 76, the nose tackle, Fritz Merlis. One-time Pro Bowl player, not the same guy the past couple of years, looking to rebound in his 8th season out of Boston College.
Smurlis says, I just grabbed his shirt and his arms are pushing me up, my hands up around his face. The top of your screen, 76 going against Fields. You see him fighting with it. There he is, right there up around his face mask, and that's what they're going to call every time. Fields, the nickname the General, the leader of that offensive line.
And a first down for O'Brien, throwing the middle. Again, a penalty marker is tossed within the line as Schuler made the catch and stopped by Marv. Buffalo was the most penalized team in the NFL last year. 132 penalties in all. Now, Miami had 144 called against them in the last 2 years combined.
Well, the Jets weren't far behind Buffalo. If you recall the game we did last year.
Holding number 63. Offense. First down.
The game we did last year at Giant Stadium, the Bills had a large number of penalties, and the Jets weren't far behind them. I think the Jets finished 22nd in the league in total amount of penalties, and the Bills, of course, finished last, or highest, whichever way you want to look at it, but they were the most penalized team.
This penalty called on the Jets. Ted Banker, the left guard, who has become a starter in the Jets' new offensive alignment, setting it back to a first down and 20 at the 32. 81 Briggs in motion. And O'Brien goes short to Schuler. And short of the first down. Martin Bayless, the strong safety, right there. And a check of the scoreboard. Raiders now leading Denver 16-7 in the first. Miami has scored, so they trail San Diego in the second quarter. New England jumping in front of the new-look Indianapolis Colts, now featuring quarterback Gary Hogeboom. Cincinnati and Kansas City are tied at 7. And we'll keep those scores coming every 10 minutes or so. Second and 16. And O'Brien incomplete, intended for McNeil. Tally on the coverage, set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL 86.
All right, Marv, after a 54-yarder from Mark Wilson to Dokie Williams sets it up. Wilson goes to Todd Christensen for 16 in the score. Moments later, John Elway chased out of the end zone for a safety. So the Raiders in the first lead at Denver 16-7. Back to Marv and Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Third down, 16 now for the Jets. Tied at 7. 4 minutes and change gone by in the second quarter in Buffalo on a 63-degree sunny day. Here's Johnny Hector putting on some moves, but he's shy of the first down. Hector, very exciting runner, has those quick feet. And he ran for 11. Hill and Kelso combining on the tackle.
The Jets using a varied offensive look. 3 wide receivers, 1 back, 2 wide, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends sometimes. They're giving the Bills a lot to look at early in the ball game.
So Dave Jennings will kick away now. Walter Broughton is back deep at his 10. Third punt of the day for Jennings. Make it 4. A couple for 31. Then he had the 20-yard, which has not helped his average. This a beauty and some problems. And right near the goal line, it was taken. Michael Hopper able to down it. And we'll have to get another look at that play.
I think Bellinger actually finally got on the ball. As you see Broughton again having trouble with the ball. Bellinger 36 gets on it. And the Bills again having problems on special teams.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. This the scene here in Buffalo moments before the start of the game, the introduction of Jim Kelly. They have gone wild for Kelly here in upstate New York. But right now, off, all right, 41-yard punt that was difficult to handle. Buffalo pinned in, 1st and 10, back at their 1-yard line, and penalty markers are down. Gastineau and the left tackle Ken Jones getting involved. And a procedure on Jones.
This is an area you don't want to make any mistakes. Look to the right. 99 is Gastineau. The red helmet right there is 72 Jones. He moves, and you don't want to make any mistakes, because if you make mistakes down here, it's 2 points for the Jets.
Ball is now at the half-yard mark. And Greg Bell on the slant. A picks up some short yardage. Matt Munger, backup linebacker in his second season out of Oklahoma State, on the stop. Jets and Bills are tied at 7. Touchdown pass from Kelly to Bell, who was rushed for 28 yards. And Tony Page ran one in for the Jets. That following the muff on the punt by Broughton. It's a second down and 7 from the 5. And again, the flag, and things getting sloppy. Looked to be the right guard, the rookie Will Wolford.
Ball starts, number 73, offense, second down.
The offensive line, as we mentioned early on, the key for Buffalo in winning this game is Wolford makes a rookie mistake. Now you had the left tackle, Jones, made a mistake down here. Now the right guard, you just cannot have that. One of the things that Hank Bullough wanted to stress coming into this training camp regular season, don't beat yourself.
And this is Bell hurdling, but he is stopped short of the 5-yard line. Matt Munger on the stop of Greg Bell. And this is a very tough drive for the Buffalo Bills. Head coach Hank Bullough in his first full season here in Buffalo, an assistant under Kay Stevenson, long-time assistant coach with New England, defensive coordinator with Cincinnati for 4 years, where he built that solid defensive unit.
To the Super Bowl. Good defensive coordinator.
Third down and 7 inside the 5. And there's Klecko with the burst. And here's it from the crowd.
We're talking with Bud Carson.
Number 12, offense.
Called Kelly for moving, for jerking. Let's take a look and see if we can see if Kelly moves to try and pull him off. Watch Kelly. No, that's I don't agree with that call, Marv. When you're hollering down there in that end zone, and you've got to make sure everybody hears the cadence, that may have been one of the reasons why Wolford and Jones jumped previous to this. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Yell it louder, and you've got to move a little bit. Now, I'm not for quarterbacks trying to pull defensive linemen off, but you've got to give them a little bit of a leeway.
And the Bills set back to a third down and 10 at the 2. And Bell is hit back. Lost a yard on the play, and the Bills will be forced to punt. Check of the scoreboard. Raiders leading Denver in the second. Still San Diego over Miami. Fouts has thrown for a couple. New England now over Indianapolis by the score of 10-3. Craig James ran one in. Tony Franklin 38-yard field goal. Cincinnati and Kansas City are tied at 7. Boomer Esiason connected with Chris Collinsworth on a 15-yard touchdown pass. Second punt for Kidd from his end zone, and a short punt. Picked up by Sohn. Mark Kelso on the tackle, and the Jets with excellent field position off the 37-yard punt. We'll be back in a moment. For 80,000 here at Richard Stadium in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills' first sellout at home since December of 1983, when they faced the Jets in a Monday night game. And the Bills and Jets tied at 7 minutes remaining. Second quarter, Jets first down outside the Buffalo 35. O'Brien with time. O'Brien throwing deep for Walker. We're set for another NFL 86 update. Here's Bob Costas.
Marv, after San Diego took a 17-0 first quarter lead, Dan Marino comes back in the second quarter at San Diego. A bullet of 22 yards to Mark Clayton for Marino. It's his 99th career touchdown pass. He'll reach 100 faster than anyone in history.
And back in Buffalo, the wave has struck for the first time this season, at least here in Buffalo. Second down and 10. McNeil across the 30-yard line. Nifty running by Freeman McNeil. McNanny and Marr. McNeil 6 carries, 27 yards. He had that 192-yard game against Buffalo last year. He's had a host of big games against the Bills.
Jets are hanging in there. This is a tough place to open. 80,000, Jim Kelly. The Jets are hanging tough. If they can get some points on the board, they'll have control going in halftime.
Third down, 3 from the 29. Big rush, and O'Brien a sack. Eugene Marr, very aggressive, the best of Buffalo's linebackers, with the first sack of the day of a man who was sacked 62 times last season.
The offensive line has been doing a good job for O'Brien, in particular Sweeney blocking on Bruce Smith. That time Marv on a blitz sacked O'Brien for the first time today. As you see, Walton not too happy with O'Brien. Say, get rid of the ball, Kenny, move around a little bit. I don't know exactly what he was saying, but it certainly is something that Kenny's going to remember the next time.
Very upset, and the loss of 10 on the sack takes the Jets out of field goal range. Dave Jennings will punt from his 46. Rod Hill now back on the punt. Bills can't be too satisfied with the punt return game. And this one is put into the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20, a 39-yard punt by Jennings. So Buffalo will take over with just under 6 to go in the second quarter. The scene here at Rich Stadium in Buffalo the past few years. You're looking at a two-man wave, but not the case here today with a crowd of better than 80,000 on hand.
I'll tell you what, this whole area, Western New York, has gone crazy for the Buffalo Bills. You see interviews with the fans on TV. They're talking Super Bowl. They're talking Jim Kelly. One man, I think the commitment that Wilson has made to this team in this area with Jim Kelly, the signing, has really got the enthusiasm back in the Buffalo fans.
Ricky Moore on the carry. Klecko with the tackle. Kelly has become an instant symbol of civic pride. You're looking at Ken O'Brien in a chat with Zeke Bratkowski.
Zeke has done a great job being a buffer with the 2 quarterbacks since he's come over last year.
Second down and 6 from the 24. Tied at 7. Greg Bell going outside and bumped out by Johnny Lynn, the free safety. Last year, Bell led the Bills in rushing, 883 yards, led in pass receptions, 58. An underrated player. Guy was constantly hurt during his collegiate career with the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
A choice that was actually criticized by the area, the media up here, the fans also. First-round draft choice from Notre Dame, a man that's been injured a lot, has turned out to be a very good player for the Bills.
Third down and 2. 5 minutes to go in this first half. The Bills from their 28-yard line. Ellen Moore, the running backs. Kelly off the roll. And that time threw it behind Bell. Incomplete.
Jets with a 6-man defensive line putting some pressure on Kelly, but the mobility of Kelly has really kept him away from that pressure that the Jets have applied to him. Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator, said he's going to pull a few new things out this week, and he has, but Kelly's mobility has kept him from being sacked.
Kelly 7 for 11, 64 yards. Here's John Kidd getting set to punt to Kurt Sohn. And again, a short punt by Kidd. That takes a jet hop. A 31-yard punt. Stray on the coverage of the punt. The Jets take over just across their 40. Thus far, a man you saw quite a bit of at the University of Miami, Jim Kelly.
He's done very well. He hasn't made the mistakes. He got the first touchdown on the first drive, but he has not turned the ball over. And when the Jets have gotten in there and have really won the battle at the line of scrimmage, he has not made the big mistake.
Can you see eventually the Buffalo Bills Utilizing the run-and-shoot type offense that Kelly had with Houston.
No,
in the USFL.
Not unless they change coaching staffs. At Houston, the run and offense, run and shoot had 4 wide receivers, and Kelly was really a short roll right or left. At Buffalo, he only has the 2 wide receivers. He's more of a pocket passer, and he's going to stay in here. So Buffalo is not going to be able to put that in unless they change coaches, and I think they're happy with Hank Bowler's job right now.
And they had the Mouseketeers of Mouse Davis in Houston. A lot of small receivers. First down for the Jets from the 41. McNeil off the hole across the 45. George Cumby, inside linebacker, on the stop. Raiders in Denver in a shootout. Second quarter, Raiders now lead at 19-14. Steve Sewell on the halfback option with a pass to John Elway. A 23-yard touchdown pass. Quarterback's getting into it.
Dan Reeves pulling some tricky plays out.
San Diego, as you saw, leading Miami 23-7. New England over Indianapolis 10-3 in the second. And Seattle coming in front of Pittsburgh. That is Walker in motion. Here is McNeil again. And he is short of the first down. The nose tackle, Fred Smerlas, on the stop.
Marv, I like that ticker because every time it comes up, I know it's 10 minutes later, you know, 10 after 4, 20 after 4, 30. Every time it comes up, hey, moving along here.
Just the basics in life. Helping you along. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
Third down and 1 for the Jets at midfield. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And Hector to the outside for the first down. Tony Furjanic, 8th-round draft pick, rookie from Notre Dame, number 53, on the stop of Hector, but the Jets with a first down.
And a quick count. I like that. Don't always go up to the line of scrimmage and go on the same count. Sometimes go on a quick count where the defense has to respect you as soon as you get to the line of scrimmage, and then sometimes with the long count, the Jets are looking very good. Offensively, they just have not put any points on the board.
And here's O'Brien going for 2. Touchdown. Al Toon out-racing Charles Rose. A 46-yard touchdown pass play, and the Jets take the lead 13-7.
Good call by Joe Walton right after a short yardage situation, a 3rd and 1, a quick count. You put your regular men back in there, go for the big play, and it was a great throw by Kenny O'Brien. And that's the quickest way to quiet a crowd down, as you don't hear much reaction from this 80,000 here in Buffalo.
And now Pat Leahy attempting the extra point. Toon with 3 catches, 67 yards. O'Brien now 8 for 13. And Leahy puts it right through. 3:01 remaining in this first half, and the Jets now lead at 14-7.
O'Brien takes a 5-step drop. As you see, good protection. Man-on-man with Romes, and Toon has already passed him. O'Brien lays it up and over the top. Good catch, in for the touchdown.
A timeout has been called, so we'll take a break. The following is sponsored by the U.S. Army.
No words could repair this running back's shattered knee.
Please don't give me your words of wisdom or your advice about what I should do, what I shouldn't do.
The Achievers, those who face adversity and refuse to fail. Brought to you by the U.S. Army. When Kurt Warner's knee exploded, many thought he was through. But months of agonizing therapy has Kurt Warner back in all-pro form.
It's not going to be easy. There are going to be days when you're not going to feel like doing it. There are going to be days when you don't want to do it. I decided to work. I think that's the most important thing.
Last touchdown. Here's Toon against Romes. Now watch him as he comes off the line of scrimmage. He beats him right there at the line of scrimmage with an arm over. O'Brien sees it, gets the ball to him as quickly as he can before Romes has an opportunity to close that margin where Toon had him beat. Good execution, and that just doesn't happen by coming out here on Sunday. They work that a lot in practice, working on after practice. Before I was over there the other day, and O'Brien staying out after practice, working with McNeil on some routes that we may see here later today.
And the greasy pencil at work on the telestrator.
Warmed up. I got the thing loaded up over the off season, and I'm ready to go.
Thus far have not kicked it around, as was the case several weeks last year. All right, here's Rob Riddick on the kickoff return. Good blocking as Riddick gets out across the 30-yard line. 28-yard return. Lester Lyles on the tackle. We're set for an update. Here's Bob Costas.
All right, Marv, trailing at home against the Raiders 19-7, the Broncos resort to chicanery. Steve Sewell takes the handoff and then throws it back to John Elway. 23 yards later, the quarterback is in the end zone, and the Broncos are within 5. Marv.
The Broncos resorting to chicanery. First down at the 31-yard line. And again to the ground, it's Ricky Moore. The Jets went 4 plays, 59 yards, capped off by the 46-yard touchdown of Brian Tatoon. And the crowd a little down right here with the clock moving toward the 2.5-minute mark in this first half. The Jets now leading it by the score of 14-7.
Kelly in the offense has not really done a lot since that first drive where they took the opening kickoff and moved it right down for a touchdown.
2nd and 9. Kelly with the time. Short completion to Andre Reed. Lance Mell was right there. That's the first reception for Reed, the second-year man from Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Kelly and the Bills offense operating into that wind. It is a pretty stiff wind. 2-minute warning.
So the Jets on top 14-7 will step out for these commercial words. All right, a look at 2 members of that outstanding 1983 draft graduating class. Jim Kelly delaying his entrance into the NFL after spending a couple of years with the Gamblers of Houston in the USFL. And O'Brien and his Jets leading Kelly and the Bills by the score of 14-7. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. 3rd down and 3 for Kelly and Buffalo from the Bills 38. And it's a first down and some more for Andre Reed. Russell Carter on the stop. 23-yard pickup.
It's a nice play by Kelly. It was just a little, wasn't a deep pass. It was just actually I don't want to say a pick because it was a legal play, but the inside receiver and the outside receiver crossed, and the Jets defense actually got rubbed off on the crisscross. Good play for the Bills.
Clock running down, 1:20 to go. First half, first down, just inside the 40. Kelly getting the time. And again, it's Reed. Another Buffalo first down, and Reed stops the clock. And that is the backup tight end, Butch Roll, involved with Kerry Glad, and both shake it up.
Let's take another look at that. Over here is Reed. Reed's going to come down and hook, and Kelly wants to hit him right here. But watch the linebacker as he goes right for him. Kelly will then wait, scramble around in the backfield until Reed uncovers from the linebacker. Linebacker running right for Reed. You see him right there. Reed says, okay, I'll slide inside. Now Kelly's athletic ability is what completes this pass.
And the ball is spotted just shy of the first down. It'll be a 2nd and 1. Both Roll and Glenn still on the ground, and a timeout.
Dodge salutes those who strive for victory with this edition of The Winners.
He's a complete football player. He can do it all. He's the best linebacker in the National Football League, and I don't think there's any question about it.
In Chicago, the glue that holds the Bears' defense together is linebacker Mike Singletary. In 1985, he saved his best for the playoffs as the Bears topped 2 straight shutouts with a Super Bowl win. Mike Singletary makes the Chicago Bears winners.
The Jets checking out Kerry Glenn, the second-year man from University of Minnesota. 10th-round draft pick last year. Second time that he's been down today.
Looking at his ankle, they cut his sock off and taping up his ankle. Jets have had problems in the defensive secondary, not only in this preseason, but all of last year. Did the Jets not have the same group of defensive backs start in 3 consecutive games, where you look at the New England Patriots, they had every defensive back play every down of every game for them. So the Jets, again, having problems in the defensive secondary as far as with injuries.
Glenn helped off the other man in the collision, Butch Roll, rookie from Michigan State. Apparently all right. He's back on the Buffalo sideline. Talk about Jet injuries, particularly in the secondary. New addition, Jerry Holmes, very first practice, sprained an ankle and not ready to play.
What did Joe call it the other day when we were out there? The ankle disease has struck again.
So Bobby Humphrey has come on. Jets and Bills, each with 2 timeouts remaining. And it is a 2nd and 1 for Buffalo. At the Jet 30-yard line, 1:09 to go, first half. And the Jets lead the Bills 14-7. Here's Bell dancing his way for the first down. Clock is running, just under a minute remaining. And the Bills in the hurry-up offense. Flags thrown. Kelly on the swing for Bell. But a penalty marker down. Down to 45 seconds left in this first half. NFL 86 just ahead at halftime.
We have offside, number 73, defense. We have goalie, number 73, offense. Penalties, offsets, first down.
Offsetting penalties against Joe Klecko of the Jets and Ken Jones, the Bills left tackle.
I thought he said Will Wolford. I thought he said 73 on both sides, but I think that's who the penalty was on. But, you know, Klecko is such a smart player. He knows that they're in a hurry-up offense and the ball is going to be snapped quickly. He just jumped a little bit too soon.
Kelly is 10 out of 14, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. And it's a first down at the 26. Out of the shotgun. In trouble is Kelly. Runs out of trouble. And he is just short of the first down. Adlin Mullen on the stop. With 31 seconds remaining of the half, Buffalo calls time.
You got to have a hard head to do that. I mean, if you're going to do that, you better be sure your bell's not going to be rung. He's too important. We'll be right back.
Of the half, Buffalo with 1 timeout remaining, 2nd down and 3 at the Jet 18, and again Kelly from the shotgun. Incomplete. Intended for Jerry Butler. Russell Carter on the coverage.
Kelly knows about 1/3 of the offense. He's kind of smiling, laughing. You know, a lot of people ask us, and then we ask Hank Bull, how do the other teammates react to Jim Kelly coming in and making all this money? And I think you got a shot right there. He's a holler guy. He's been very well accepted. As Hank said, they sold 35,000 seats for this ball game, the Jets opener. And once Kelly signed, they sold another 45,000. So the thing is sold out. So Bullitt said to the rest of the team, you guys sold 35. Kelly sold 45. He's well received.
Well, he single-handedly sold out this stadium. 3rd down and 3. And a 1st and goal off the reception by Greg Bell. A 16-yard advance. Lester Lyles on the stop.
Kelly, like I said, doesn't know a lot of the offense, calling the plays that he knows. Here we'll see the back from this side. He's going to come over. Now these receivers are going to come deep. They'll catch the ball right in this area. We'll take a look at the Jets in man-to-man protection. Kelly looks, that way. Now he comes back to the right side, to his right side, going into that wind, going with the short passes, not going anything deep where the wind is going to have an effect on the play as the entire team comes to the sideline for some final words from Hank Bullough.
Looks like the Cincinnati Bengals type huddle where Sam Weish brings the club to the sideline. The Bills calling their final timeout of the half. And this crowd right back into it with 17 seconds remaining first half.
17 seconds to go, no timeouts. If they don't make it on the running play, they probably won't have any time. They'll have to get together and throw the ball out. I suspect they'll throw the ball here, and Kelly has to tell him to throw it incomplete if he doesn't complete the ball. Because the worst you want to come out of here with is at least a field goal. If you run a running play and don't make it, I don't think you have time to either line up for a second play or to get your field goal team. It's got to be a pass play.
Ninth play of the drive, first and goal from the 2. That is Bell in motion. And here's Kelly to the end zone. Broken up. Intended for the rookie tight end Butch Roll, and Kyle Clifton, inside linebacker, number 59, able to break it up.
Clifton had a great year last year, and Mel, of course, had a greater year, and Clifton led the team in tackles. Mel was number 2, but Clifton is going to get his due. You know, last year, the last couple of years, Mel was the underrated linebacker that finally made it to the Pro Bowl. Now Clifton had the year that Mel had been having for the last few years.
Scott Norwood getting ready. 13 seconds remaining. Second and goal. Again Bell peels off. And again Kelly off the roll. Bullet pass nearly intercepted. Rich Miano had a shot at it. 8 seconds remaining, and the crowd doesn't like it, but Hank Bullough going for the field goal unit.
You asked me a little earlier about the run and shoot. Those last 2 plays were a little bit of run and shoot. Got Kelly on the move, which is a good idea. Get him outside the pocket, gives him a little bit more time to look around. The only problem is when you do this, you get outside the pocket, but you cannot always see the linebackers. And that time it was almost intercepted.
This will be a 19-yard attempt. Scott Norwood in his second year out of James Madison. 6 for 9 in preseason. 13 of 17 last year. Did not have that many opportunities to attempt the field goals or extra points. And this one is good. So the Bills get 3 points out of the long drive. And with 5 seconds remaining in the half, they will kick off to the Jets.
That was the smart play. The fans were reacting with their heart. Hank Bullough has to make the decision with his head, and they got for the sure 3 points.
The Jets now with a 14-10 lead. Ken O'Brien providing the lead off that touchdown pass to Al Toon here in the second quarter. And the Buffalo Bills with an 11-play drive that is concluded by Norwood on the 19-yard field goal. 11 plays, 67 yards. Five seconds to go in this first half. Jim Kelly made his debut with the Bills last week against the Bears and did well. 5 for 9, looking about as sharp as you could hope under the circumstances. He had checked in just days before.
Kelly has always done well in opening days against in the USFL. The opening day threw for over 500 yards. He's an excitable type of young kid. As you can see, he claps his hands, gets the guys going, raises his fist, pats them on the rear end. They like him. Not only the fans, of course, but the players are impressed with him.
All right, Norwood putting it on the ground, and it's covered up by Michael Hopper, second-year man from UCLA, as this first half has come to a close. Jim Kelly and the Bills heading off. They lead the Jets by the score of 14-10. And Kelly has to be pleased with his work here on Wednesday.
I think Kelly is pleased. I think Bullough is pleased. The fans are pleased. The Jets, I think, expected Jim Kelly to start. He has started, and I think with the fans cheering the Buffalo Bills on, the Jets knew they would come up here and get in a real dogfight, and they've gotten it in the first half.
During the course of the week, Buffalo head coach Hank Buller would not state who his starter would be. He kept indicating it would be Frank Reich, but Kelly said yesterday, he said, it's going to be me.
Well, Kelly was taking all the snaps. It didn't fool the Jets any. They were practicing for Kelly all along.
So a 14-10 Jet lead at the half. NFL 86 halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be back after these words from your local station. Time stats and a evenly played first half, except for the 2 turnovers committed by Buffalo.
And that was one of the big things that I thought took Buffalo out of the game early, because it gave the Jets great field position inside the Buffalo 20. The Jets went in and scored, and this is one of the things that Buller wanted to get out of his offense, and that is the turnovers. And Broughton committed 2 muffs or 2 fumbles and turned into turnovers.
So Pat Leahy will kick it off as Jim Kelly walks up along the sideline. Walter Broughton has had a rough day, and Rob Riddick are back. And that's Broughton. Broughton across the 25-yard line as we catch you up on the scores. First, the finals, the earlier game. Chicago over Cleveland, Washington walloping Philadelphia, LA Rams beating St. Louis, Houston big over Green Bay, and Detroit got by Minnesota. All final scores: San Francisco easily over Tampa Bay, and Atlanta with a wipeout of New Orleans. Halftime, the Raiders by 1 over Denver. In the third, as you saw, San Diego over Miami. They jumped in front 17-0. Here's Greg Bell on the first down play. And the rest of the scoreboard: New England leading Indianapolis. These are third quarter scores. Cincinnati and Kansas City tied at 7, and Seattle leading Pittsburgh 6-0 in the third. Right here, the Jets over the Bills 14-10. We're just underway. Third quarter, second down at 8 from the 30-yard line. Buffalo receivers now looking right into the sun. And here's Bell to the 35-yard line. Lyons and Humphrey on the stop. Rick Bell, 13 carries, 46 yards, and a question mark going into today because of a sprained right ankle. 5-yard pickup for Bell. Third down and 3. Jim Kelly opening up this drive on the ground. Ricky Moore and Greg Bell, the running backs. And Bell leading forward, looking to pick up that first down. Harry Bennett on the stop defensively. Bennett, Klecko, Gastineau up front. They'll switch to the 4-3. Marty Lyons coming on that capacity. The linebackers: Jackson, Clifton, Mellon, Crable. And the secondary: Lynn and Hamilton. The deep men, Carter and Humphrey, are the corners. Kerry Glenn was shaken up, taken out of the game. We have not received a further report on Glenn. And it is a first down for Buffalo.
Bud Carson, defensive coordinator for the Jets, has been alternating, as you mentioned, the 3-man line and the 4-man line. It was interesting last year when he came to the Jets, he changed them from a 4-man front to a 3-man front, as we look at Bud on the sideline. This year he's playing more 4-man line, and it makes it difficult for the teams that are going to be playing the Jets to prepare for him each week.
First down from the 38. And now Kelly to throw. And a penalty marker down. Rick Bell, the intended receiver. And appeared to be a hold. Here is Jerry Markwright. It's against the Bills.
Holding, number 73, offense. First down.
It's the right guard, Will Wolford, who is facing Joe Klecko today. A very difficult assignment.
Right in the middle of your screen, and Klecko gets a good charge. 73 blocking 73. And Kelly throws the ball into the ground as Klecko gets him just as he's releasing the football.
It is a first down and 20 back at the 28-yard line. Big rush. Kelly getting it away. Incomplete. And Kelly ends up on the top of the Jet defensive lineman. Let's see. That's Mark Gastineau on the rush. And Jim Kelly is a big fella at 6'3", 215, ended up right on top.
Well, that's what Mark has to say about Jim Kelly. And I think, you know, when you think back to last year, Bruce Matheson and Ferragamo were both the quarterbacks for the Bills. That play would have been a sack, no question about it. Kelly, with his quick release, gets rid of the football.
Second down and 20 from the 28-yard line. Klecko jumping, and let's see how they call it this time.
Joe's going to point at Kelly. Says it worked before. Let me try it again.
Encroachment foul, 73.
Not this time.
Second down.
Well, he gets called on that quite often. I was talking with Bud Carson the other day. He kind of smiled. He says he gets called on more penalties than anybody in the league, but he also makes more plays from that position than anybody in the league. So it's just something that kind of goes with the territory.
Joe Klecko, the only player in NFL history to make the Pro Bowl at 3 different positions: defensive end, defensive tackle, and nose tackle, which is extraordinary. Again, the big rush. Ball deflected and incomplete, intended for Bell. Took a bump from Lynn.
That's intended for Bell.
Reminder to our viewers, we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game at the conclusion of the ball game. Later word on Kerry Glenn, the Jet left cornerback. He suffered a sprained foot and he will not return. So Bobby Humphrey, a man who's made the conversion from offense to defense, and the Jets say right now he is the best on the bump and run among the secondary people. Kelly with 4 straight incompletions. 3rd and 15, and this is Bell. And the Bills are having a very tough time here against the Jets.
What has happened, Marv, is that the Jets defense has changed their technique from the first half to the second half. They're blitzing a lot more, much more aggressive, putting pressure on Kelly, forcing him to either take the sack or throw the ball short. And the Jets have good coverage on the backs coming out of the backfield, and that was that series right there. A lot of pressure. You see Bud Carson talking with Mel about that pressure.
And John Kidd will punt for the 4th time inside his 20. And that's his best punt of the day. Kurt Sohn to the 25. And good coverage by Buffalo, led by the kamikaze man on the coverage team, Mark Kelso. 54-yard punt, 11-yard return. We'll be back here in Buffalo in a moment.
Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your local Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Buy Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers.
2.5 minutes gone by. 3rd quarter, we resume. The Jets taking over from their 32-yard line. Freeman McNeil, who to this point has not been able to unleash, stopped by the left defensive end, Sean McNanny, 3rd-round draft pick 3 years ago out of San Diego State. McNeil with his 9th carry, 38 yards. 2nd down and 7 off the 3-yard pickup. The Jets from their 30-yard line. O'Brien on 2nd down. Intended for McNeil. Correction on 3rd down. 3rd down and 7 now coming up.
Take a look at Bruce Smith, 78, and Sweeney, 53. One of the mismatches coming in, the Buffalo Bills thought was that Sweeney might get something done on the smaller Sweeney, who has moved from center to guard now to tackle. And Smith led this team in sacks last year, led them in sacks preseason, but Sweeney doing a very good job of keeping Smith out of the backfield.
And now 3rd down, 7. Big rush, and O'Brien sacked for the 2nd time today. This time it's Bruce Smith, who had an excellent preseason. 6 sacks in all during preseason, 4 in 1 game.
Well, we just looked at Smith. Let's go back and take another look. 78 is Smith. We talked about Sweeney. He's coming inside on Banker, 63, and just causes all kinds of commotion. It's kind of an awkward sack for O'Brien, but it seems like he got up healthy. And Bruce Smith leading the charge.
And Walter Broughton is back deep, awaiting this Dave Jennings punt. 6th punt of the day for Jennings. And a short one. So the Bills with good field position, 26-yard punt. And it has been an off day for Dave Jennings.
Well, these punters are fine when they're kicking from left to right, but the wind is blowing pretty good, and you see Jennings' reaction. He knows it's not a good one.
Bob, you can set your finally to watch on this one. Our 10-minute ticker. Raiders leading Denver, a game that featured a touchdown pass caught by John Elway. Dan Marino has thrown 2, but the Dolphins trailing badly. New England over Indianapolis. Kansas City leads Cincinnati, and Seattle in front of Pittsburgh. Buffalo 1st down at the Jet 47. 4 minutes gone by in this 3rd quarter mix-up on the snap, and Kelly is on it. Lance Mel covering up on Jim Kelly, setting the Bills.
Take a look here, Marv. Excuse me. Jim Kelly trying to get out. Watch the center step on Kelly's foot as he tries to get away from center. Well, the guard stepped on it. Wolford, 73. It's kind of embarrassing for a quarterback until somebody says, hey, did you slip or just fall down? No, I stepped on my lineman.
And it's a 3-yard loss. 2nd down and 13. And again, Kelly stumbled. And Bell is hit back for a loss.
You know what it calls that, Marv? We showed 2 shots of Kelly going down. Wolford, 73, the right guard, is so intent on blocking Klecko. Klecko, by his quickness off the line, causes the offensive lineman to move a little bit before they'd like to, and is causing problems with the quarterback in a way that you wouldn't suspect.
And the Jet defensive people feel that Klecko at this stage is much more advanced than he has been the last couple of years, and he's had some solid seasons. 3rd down, 16. And Kelly in trouble, gets it away. This is Rod Riddick. Riddick runs it out as a flag is thrown. Against Buffalo.
Going back to the start of the game, near the start, we said the key for Buffalo, if they had a chance, was their offensive lineman.
73, offense, 3rd down.
Wolford, the #1 draft choice out of Vanderbilt, having all kinds of problems. Not only did he hold, but he got beat. And Kelly, again, avoiding the sack, the loss, and just dumping the ball off. But the Jets with good pressure. And this is, you know, the wind is really a factor in this ball game, Mark. We've seen the punters have trouble with it. In this quarter, the Bills are going to have the wind at their back. The first series, they didn't do anything. The Jets have dominated this series, and they're moving the Bills backwards.
3rd and 26. This is a tough place to play even at this time of the year.
Very windy, and especially in October, November, when you get the cold and the wind.
Kelly going again to Riddick. Nice sideline move, but way short of the 1st down. But the applause for Rod Riddick, the surprise of training camp for the Buffalo Bills. 17-yard pickup on the reception, forced out by Johnny Lynn.
Kelly took a good shot from Gastineau coming off the field under some pain, it seems.
And the punting unit checks in.
18 yards on the play.
Kurt Sohn is back at his 10. John Kidd will kick from his 40. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. A 45-yard punt by Kidd. 8:45 to go, third quarter. When we return, it will be Jet ball.
Look to the left side. You see Gastineau on the rush on Kelly. We saw him coming off the field there that last series. Gastineau gets inside of Jones and hits him just as he throws the football.
And on that punt by Buffalo, a holding penalty called on the Jets, so it's set back to the 10-yard line. Jets first down from their 10, 8:45 remaining. Third quarter, Jets lead the Bills, 14-10. Freeman McNeil on the slant, moving out near the 15, stopped by Eugene Marv. Sellout crowd, better than 80,000 here at Rich Stadium. Marv Albert with Bob Gracie. Big play for the Jets. Touchdown pass from Ken O'Brien to Al Toon for 46 yards. Second down and 6. McNeil looks to go outside, and he's cut off at the 17. Picked up about 3, the inside linebacker, George Cumby. And there is Frank Reich warming up.
Kelly had a shot in the back, as we showed, coming out of commercial from Gastineau. It may be his back left side, ribs, cracked ribs or bruised ribs. That can be very painful in that area for a quarterback.
Reich finished last year as the backup to Bruce Matheson, had a strong preseason. Third down and 3. And the Bills defensive unit does the job. They stop McNeil. Eugene Marv on the tackle.
Eugene Marv on the stop over there.
Here's Marv right here, and Bayless, both the safety blitz coming in. Watch Marv as he comes right in here. O'Brien may have checked this off to an inside trap. The problem was the guard didn't get over in time to block Marv. A lot of times a safety blitz up the middle, you can split it. Marv on the play.
Dave Jennings back to punt for the 7th time, and Walter Broughton, who had a couple of adventures in the first half, back in there again. He was back for the last Jennings punt. 6.5 to go, third quarter. Jennings will punt from his 2. And a good one. Here's Broughton. Excellent coverage by the Jets. The tackle by Matt Munger off the 41-yard punt, only a 2-yard return. Amazing how quickly the time goes. A scant 10 minutes ago, we round this down. Once again, Raiders lead Denver in the third. San Diego over Miami, 33-14. New England now jumping in front, 17-3. Eason to Stanley Morgan on a 23-yard pass play. Kansas City in an update, leading Cincinnati 14-7. And Seattle in the third over Pittsburgh, 13-0. First down, Buffalo at their 43-yard line, following the 41-yard punt by Dave Jennings. Kelly throws first down and has Riddick. So Riddick getting into the offense, coming out of the backfield for the second time this third quarter. Clifton and Crable combine on the stop.
This may be the last series too, Marv, that the Bills have the wind with them, and I think the Bills are going to try and start throwing on first down when the pressure may not be as hot on Kelly. Certainly on third down, they're getting after him.
7-yard pickup, second down and 3 at midfield. Carl Byram now in at fullback, replacing Ricky Moore, wearing number 35, rookie from Mississippi Valley State. And here's Riddick for the first down. Hank Fuller going with a new backfield. Jackson on the stop of Riddick. It's Riddick and Byram. He went most of the way with Bell and Moore.
I think this is good. Riddick had a outstanding preseason, was the leading receiver, leading rusher for Buffalo, and put him in there. Maybe he can get something going. There's nothing to say that your #1 running back, Bill, has to play every series of the ball game.
Riddick sat out all of last year with knee problems. Here's Riddick. That time hit for a loss and a penalty. Jackson on the stop. Looked to be a face mask. As I mentioned, Riddick sat out last season. Also missed all of 1982 with a knee injury.
Holding on Buffalo, and again, the holding penalties are slowing down Bulla's offensive unit. Hank, a tough disciplinarian, one of the things he said coming in, he says, I want to clean up the turnovers. I want to eliminate stopping ourselves. Interceptions, fumbles. And they really have not done that today, Marv. They've had several holding penalties. They've had 2 fumbles that have really hurt them.
But have to be pleased that they are obviously in this ball game trailing the heavily favored Jets by the score of 14-10. Kelly throwing it away. Pete Metzelaars in the area. Metzelaars, the surprise receiver earlier in the ball game, and has not looked. Kelly has not looked that way though the last couple of quarters.
You saw he was having some words, and Kelly went up and Klecko, and I don't know whether they were having some fun or talking seriously, but I'm sure that nothing's funny to Joe right out there right now. It's they're only ahead by Buffalo by 4 points in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
2nd and 20 from the 44-yard line. Jerry Butler to the right. Andre Reed, top of your screen. Straight ahead for Riddick. And a flag is tossed. And again against the Bills. And you see the reaction of head coach Hank Bullock.
Holding number 67, offense, 2nd down.
That's the center, Kent Hull, called on the penalty.
Coming into training camp, Hank Bullock said there are a few things that I want to get done. Number 1, he says, I was last in points last year. I want to score more points. He was last in penalties. He had more penalties than anybody else. I want to lower that, obviously. And then the turnovers. I want to not turn the ball over so much and create more turnovers for our defense. Certainly the penalties are starting to pile up for him right now.
Sets it back to a 2nd and 30 from the 35, and there's Klecko jumping. And let's see what the call is. They are 1-1 in this situation. One on Kelly, one on Klecko.
Well, you're seeing both sides of it right here. You're seeing the good news and the bad news. You're seeing why the Bills are having the holding penalties because of the quickness and aggressiveness of Klecko, and then you're also seeing what happens sometimes when Joe gets off the mark too quickly. But the holding penalty is 10 yards, and offsides or encroachment is only 5, so the Jets are winning, I guess, 5 yards each time. That makes sense?
2nd down, 25. And Riddick on the carry, reaching out to the 45-yard line. Larry Bennett, number 78, making the stop, along with Kyle Clifton.
Klecko is 73.
You're enjoying this, Bob.
It looked like a takedown right there. Richard at 51, and Klecko. Of course, Klecko can hold. Richard can't.
3rd down and 20. Riddick. He had the opening for an instant, but Gastineau able to catch him. And the crowd for the first time reacting against the Bills. Not pleased with that series.
Well, 3rd and 20. I think they wanted to see the ball in the air, but Hank says, we asked him yesterday who calls the plays, and he says, well, I tell him whether to run or pass, and then he lets his assistants call. So he told him run, and that was Hank's call.
And here's the punt by Kidd. And so let it carry in a 50-yard punt. stronger as the game progresses, and the Jets will go to work from their 20-yard line with 2.5 remaining in this third quarter. A check of the scoreboard. Final, Chicago over Cleveland. Buddy Ryan's head coaching debut. A defeat at the hands of Washington. The Rams beat St. Louis. Houston over Green Bay, and Detroit nipping Minnesota. The final score, San Francisco over Tampa Bay. We'll get back to that in a moment. As the Jets go to the offense, Rocky Cleaver, versatile guy out of Montana, backup tight end, quarterback, running back, backup punter and kicker on the reception, stopped by Burrows. Back to those final scores. San Francisco with 31-7 win. Atlanta over New Orleans 31-10. Games in progress. Raiders in Denver. Now a one-point game, 29-28. San Diego leading Miami. New England in front of Indianapolis. KC now 21-7 over Cincinnati. Seattle leading Pittsburgh. Second down and 2. And O'Brien throwing a rope and completing to the tight end, Mickey Schuler. Burrows on the stop, a 13-yard pickup for Schuler, his second catch of the day. He's the money man for the Jets, their clutch receiver. O'Brien has not looked that way this afternoon.
The Jets going with 2 tight ends most of the game. Schuler has said that when he goes down and runs a little curl, O'Brien gets him the ball quicker than anybody he's ever worked with. And that's a credit to O'Brien.
And a first down across the 40. McNeil picked up 4 on the play. Set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL 86.
All right, Marv, in the third quarter at Mile High Stadium, Marcus Allen, who had scored 2 touchdowns, loses the ball. It's picked up by Denver linebacker Ken Woodard. He takes it in from 12 yards out. The Raider lead is trimmed to 1. The difference in the game, a Raiders safety in the first half. Marv.
And a bizarre game at Mile High. Elway catching a touchdown pass plus the safety. 45 seconds to go. Third quarter. Second down and 6 for the Jets. O'Brien, incomplete. Intended for 2 to put the punt from the right corner. Roams. Clock stopped with 34 seconds remaining. Third quarter. The Jets lead the Bills 14-10. Joe Walton, the second best athlete out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. After 2 years of records of 7 and 9, turned it around last season, a record of 11 up, 5 down. Third down and 6. O'Brien getting it off and completing to Soane for the first down. But apparently they say no completion. He was within the grasp. Guy Frazier with the rush and O'Brien, and the whistle was blown. It is a loss of 12 instead of the completion for the first down.
Joe Walton can't be pleased with his offense the second half. They've had some opportunities, but that time being ruled in the grasp and control. Not only the grasp, but the defensive man has to have control of the quarterback, and that time Jerry Markbright, the referee, ruling that way.
Third sack for the Bills. And here is Jennings. Inside is 20. Time running down. 10 seconds to go. Third quarter. Let it bounce. And the ball spotted at about the Buffalo 27, a 40-yard punt for Jennings as this third quarter comes to an end. So at the end of 3, the Jets 14, the Bills 10. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Back to the offense, and it was a quiet third quarter for Jim Kelly.
Kelly came out at the beginning of the game and just looked outstanding. And I think Bud Carson, the coordinator for the Jets, said, let's change up a little bit. We want to go after him a little bit more. The second half, they've been much more aggressive and have not given Kelly the time that he had in the first half. He's getting rid of the football rather than taking the sack, however.
They'll start from their 28. Kelly throwing on first down. Completes, and a penalty flag is thrown. Butler on the reception, covered by Humphrey. 18-yard play. Harry Butler has had some splendid days against the Jets, particularly back in '79. 10 catches, 4 touchdowns.
Illegal contact foul, number 48, defense, penalty decline, first down.
So the penalty against Humphrey declined, and the Bills now first out from their 45-yard line.
For 18 yards.
Rushing yardage not very good for either team, and the passing yardage, it's really been pretty much a defensive game, Marv, as we take a look at it.
And here's Riddick trying to stiff arm his way. Humphrey running him out of bounds. And we're ready for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas in NFL 86.
Marv, a moment ago, we showed you Denver moving to within 1 of the Raiders on that fumble recovery. Back comes L.A. Mark Wilson's third TD pass of the game, a 57-yard beauty to first-year man Rod Barksdale. Now, late in the third, it's the Raiders, 36-28.
And back in Buffalo, 4-yard run by Riddick, second down and 6 from the 50. Just underway, fourth quarter. Carl Byram, Rob Riddick, the running back. And it's Riddick unleashing. And a penalty marker thrown. Riddick with the first down. Harry Hamilton, the strong safety, up to make the stop. An 8-yard run, but let's see what that flag is about. And this game has been slowed down by penalties.
Just going to say the same.
Number 40, offense, second down.
Illegal motion on the running back. Rob Riddick out of Millersville, Pennsylvania.
Well, my favorite town, right?
Wait a moment. They may be getting this telecast. Do not drop by Millersville after that sarcasm.
That wasn't sarcastic. I'm sure it's a nice little town.
Fullback. Second down, 11. Line up out of the eye. Beautiful catch by Andre Reed. Andre Reed goes all the way. Superb rookie season. Unheralded 4th-round draft pick. Going 55 yards. Jim Kelly with a second touchdown pass. And the Bills lead the Jets, looking to make it a 3-point advantage. Here's the extra point attempt by Scott Norwood. A minute gone by, fourth quarter, and Jim Kelly and his Buffalo Bills lead the New York Jets by 3.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like Mazda value. By Federal Express. Why fool around with anyone else? And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
Back in Buffalo, Jim Kelly, 15 for 25, 216 yards, 2 touchdowns. A moment ago, he connected with Andre Reed to give the Bills a 17-14 lead. And here is Scott Norwood on the kickoff. The up man, Michael Hopper, a across the 20, and this crowd is right back into it.
You know, Marv, we mentioned how Bud Carson was being aggressive. These linebackers, all three of them are going to blitz. Here's Reed out here as he cuts across the field. Bobby Humphrey has to cover him all over the field as the linebackers blitz to try and stop Kelly and what he's doing. Humphrey at the top of your screen, releases inside along with Reed. Reed catches the ball as Humphrey comes underneath, and that's a short throw and a long touchdown. Into the wind. When you gamble with your defense trying to attack.
Number 34, kicking team, re-kick, 30-yard line.
And offside on that kickoff. Offside against the Bills, so they'll do it again.
You know, when you blitz, sometimes you win and sometimes you leave your defensive backs out there one-on-one, and that time, as we look at Bud Carson, he'll mix it up on you, but when you live by the blitz, sometimes you die by the blitz. Kelly with a short pass, and Humphrey not being able to stay up with Reed. Actually, he had pretty good coverage, but the throw was right on the target.
Andre Reed with 4 catches today. The attendance announced 79,951. Overall, better than 80 here. That is a new record for the Buffalo Bills.
Regular season record, and it's just amazing what somebody was saying the other day, that if Jim Kelly brings in, what was it, 15,000 more people per game of what they averaged last year, above what they averaged last year, that'll pay for his salary.
And he signed a reported $7.5 million contract over 5 years. Norwood to kick again. This time Bobby Humphrey on the return. And Humphrey's been held in check. Out to the 35. 21-yard kickoff return. Carl Byram on the stop. We are early 4th quarter. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Richard Stadium in Buffalo. The Bills lead the Jets by the score of 17-14. The Bills have won only 4 games the past 2 seasons. And they have lost the last 4 to the New York Jets. O'Brien getting out of trouble. This is Tony Page. Martin Bayless, the strong safety, up to make the tackle. A 7-yard pass play.
I think everybody knows as we take a look at Smith, 78, with the pressure on O'Brien. We know how many of sacks O'Brien took last year, 62. Maybe this is a little bit of his movement in the offseason. Moves it around a little bit, moves in the pocket, gets rid of the football, turns a busted play into a positive play.
2nd down and 3. McNeil. Guy Frazier on the stop as McNeil picks up the 1st down. The last time the Buffalo Bills defeated the New York Jets was back in November 1983 at Shea Stadium, and the quarterbacks were Joe Ferguson for Buffalo and Richard Todd for the Jets.
Been a few quarterbacks in Buffalo since Joe Ferguson has left.
Rocky Cleaver going wide left side. 1st down at the 47. Cleaver in motion. Play action. Page on the reception. Made the turn, surprised to get away, and has the 1st down. Beautiful move by Tony Page. 18-yard pickup.
Here's Page right here. He'll slip out in the flat as O'Brien will reverse pivot, fake to the halfback, and the lineman pull from left to right. It's a confusing play, but one that is very successful, as you see Marv getting out there a little bit too late to make the play. Good move by Page.
Finally, the defensive end, McNanny, made the stop. 1st down at the Buffalo 35. Walker in motion. McNeil finding a hole. And he's covered up. Marv on the tackle. It's been a strong game for the inside linebacker, Eugene Marv. He had some help from George Cumby. quarterback, number 54, very aggressive, out of Saginaw Valley State. In his 5th season in the NFL. 2nd down and 4 coming up.
Number 78, Bruce Smith, seems to have an injury on, maybe he's going to go with it.
McNeil in trouble, nowhere to go. And it was Bruce Smith who hung in, able to make the stop for a loss on the play. McNeil lost 7.
Well, you saw him just before that last snap. He was hurting, but a play like this, you'll forget about that injury very quickly as he gets inside of Sweeney and now just runs down the play as the Buffalo defense, the left side, had turned McNeil back in, and the pursuit, and Smith caught up.
Bruce Smith, a college roommate of running back Tony Page of the Jets. They were together at Virginia Tech. 3rd down, 11. O'Brien over the middle. Again able to bust one for a 1st and goal inside the 10. Charles Rome ran him out, a 28-yard pass play.
Tune with great speed is just going to run a curl. As you see him at the top of your screen, inside of 58 Cumbie. Cumbie says, whoa, wait a minute, I was supposed to cover him. And now Tune, with the good speed, gets down inside the 10-yard line.
Catch on the day, 95 yards in all for Tune, who caught a touchdown pass earlier. 1st and goal from the 8. That's Sohn, 87, in motion. And penalty markers down. Bills pointing at the Jets, Jets pointing at the Bills. And we'll get the official call from the referee, Jerry Markbright. Coach Hank Bullock. Check of the scoreboard. Game's in progress. Raiders leading Denver. San Diego pulling away from Miami now 47-21. New England putting some more points on the board. Kansas City 21-7 over Cincinnati. And Seattle in front by the score of 23-0. Dave Craig throwing his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Connecting with Steve Largent. O'Brien is 13 for 20, 188 yards. 1st down. 1st and goal. And he has Tune able to cut back and work his way close to the goal line. What a beautiful move by Al Tune.
Tune's going to be out here now. O'Brien is going to roll a little bit left and throw the ball out to his left side. It's amazing to me the way the Jets, as soon as they go behind in this ball game, as you see Tune break to the outside, the ball delivered right on time, and then Tune making some moves. The way a good team like the Jets, Marv, as soon as they get behind in this ball game, they move right down the field, and they're in great position to score a touchdown.
Ball spotted at the 1, 2nd and goal. Johnny Hector able to walk it in, and the Jets recapture the lead.
Well, they weren't behind very long. It didn't take them very long to move right down the field. See, early in the game, we said one of the keys to this game for the Jets would be Kenny O'Brien, and he moved them right down the field.
And it's been a solid day for O'Brien. We saw Joe Walton upset with him momentarily in the 1st half, but a strong performance by O'Brien. And here is Pat Leahy attempting the extra point. A drive that went 64 yards, 8 plays. And Leahy finishing it up. Jets holding the ball for 4 minutes, 2 seconds. Capped off by the touchdown run by Hector, bringing it in from a yard away. And the Jets now lead the Bills by the score of 21-17. And let's see what Jim Kelly has up his sleeve when we return. 5 minutes minutes gone by in this fourth quarter. The Jets now leading Buffalo 21-17 as Pat Leahy gets set to kick off. Rod Riddick and the rookie Ronnie Harmon are back deep, and they'll bring it out to the 20. Harmon, a #1 draft pick, making his first appearance of the day.
Go back to the last touchdown where Hector runs in. Watch Cleaver right there get a great block, seals everything to the inside, and then McElroy and the big offensive lineman come out as the easiest touchdown Johnny Hector will ever score. But great execution and a key block by Cleaver.
And the Bills have gone back to the running back duo that we saw most of the game, Ricky Moore and Greg Bell. First down from their 20. And Kelly with play action. In trouble. Gets out of it. And finds Bell for a first down. 21-yard pass play, and what a play by Kelly. We'll be back here in Buffalo, but right here, let's go to Bob Costas and NFL 86.
All right, Marv, in this tennis battle of countrymen, it's checkmate for Miloslav Machir. He loses to the top seed, Ivan Lendl, 6-4, 6-2, 6-love. Lendl is the men's champion of the U.S. Open. Back to Buffalo.
And the Buffalo Bills, first down at the 41-yard line. 6 minutes in, fourth quarter. Here's Bell. They have lost the handle momentarily. Lance Mel on the stop. Jim Kelly is now 16 for 26, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, has not been picked off. What an outstanding NFL debut for Kelly, who has excited this area. There have been pep rallies for today's game. There's been a Jim Kelly look-alike contest. He has lifted the spirit of this area and has faced the tremendous pressure. 2nd and 10. Kelly had the time, and a well-thrown pass to the outside. Andre Reed on the reception, stopped by Kyle Clifton. It is a short pickup. Is running. We're down to 8 minutes remaining.
Excuse me, Mar. I'm just going to say it's really amazing how well Kelly is playing with only like 1/3 of the offense. And we talked with Bob Leahy, the quarterback coach for the Bills yesterday, and he said we're just going to keep it simple when Jim's in there. Going to call the plays he knows, and if he's got any question about the play, just calls anything he wants to.
3rd and 8 at the 43. The rush, quick release, and that was intended for Reed. Miano had a shot at an interception, and it looks like Gastineau is hurt, and the crowd enjoying it.
Kelly limping off. He got a shot in the back a couple of series ago. Take a look here as we see Gastineau at the top. That's a mismatch right there. Ricky Moore trying to block Gastineau. See where he hurt his ankle there, Kelly.
Both actually able to hobble off. Gastineau to the far side, Kelly to the near side. And here's the punt by Kidd. Sold with the fair catch across the 30. 27-yard punt. Jim Kelly looking to walk it off. 7.5 remaining in this fourth quarter. Penalty marker is down. We'll be back here in Buffalo after these matches. A moment ago, Jim Kelly hobbled off, and they're checking him over.
Watch the replay here as Gastineau comes around the outside. Now watch Kelly's right foot. He steps on Gastineau's hand right there. Twists his ankle. Does a pretty good job of twisting it. He's taped up on the sidelines, and that's a pretty tough way right there. Look at that. Tough way to get hurt. You wouldn't expect to get hurt by a defensive lineman by stepping on his hand.
Personal foul called against the Jets' Dennis Blygen. So the Jets start out first down back at their 15. Page on the reception, just short of the first down. Martin Bell Ellis, the strong safety, on the stop. Raiders now leading Denver 36-31 in a wild one at Mile High. San Diego pouring it on Miami in the fourth quarter. New England pulling away a field goal festival for Tony Franklin, who was connected 4 times. Kansas City over Cincinnati. And David Craig touchdown to Steve Lodgen opened up that Seattle lead. Freeman McNeil with the first down. Romes on the stop. 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Excuse me, Marv. This McNeil with 55 yards and 17 carries, and the Bills, who really finished 26th in the league last year at run defense, are doing a pretty good job of shutting down that rushing game and forcing O'Brien to do it through the air.
First down from the 26. Now Tunis to the right. And it's McNeil. McNeil to the 29. Tony Furjanic, rookie out of Notre Dame.
Freeman thinking that Furjanic was going a little bit extra there after the play was over with, and kind of following through on his when he got up. Of course, UCLA and Notre Dame never got along anyway. 53 is Furjanic, the Notre Dame rookie, as he tries to bend McNeil, the UCLA grad. Freeman had some cause to be upset.
2nd and 7. Wesley Walker beating Burrows on the gamble. And Wesley turning it on for the touchdown. Derek Burrows went for the interception and was beaten. A 71-yard pass play.
Wesley Walker with all that speed. I was talking with Rich Kotite earlier in the day, the offensive coordinator. Right out here, he's just going to run a little curl, and the ball is going to get out there. As you said, Marv, Burrow is going to try and pick the ball off, make the play inside. And you can't do that with a speed like that. Kotite saying that he still has that speed to get deep. Running away from Freeman. Big play. And a big gamble for the Buffalo Bills that didn't pay off.
So here is Pat Leahy putting the extra point right through, and with 5:24 remaining in this fourth quarter, the Jets have extended their lead to 28-17. 4 plays, 85 yards within 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And Derek Burrows not feeling too good about that last play. A second-year man from Memphis State, first cornerback taken in the draft last year. He's been bothered by a shoulder and ankle injury during the course of preseason. Took a shot, and it did not pay.
I think it just shows the balance of the Jets, too. Their rushing game not really clicking. Go to their passing game. Toombs caught some big passes, short passes, but ran on with them. And now Wesley Walker catching a little hook, a little stop pattern, maybe 7-8 yards, and breaking it for a touchdown.
And the Bills with Rob Riddick and Ronnie Harmon back deep once again. Kelly pointing out the clock, chatting with defensive lineman Dean Prater as Leahy gets set to kick it off. Riddick on the return to the 15. Putting the speed on. Gorgeous return by Rob Riddick.
Buffalo's #1 draft choice was Harmon, a running back out of University of Iowa. They're in great shape as far as running backs with Bell, and now Riddick healthy again this year, doing a great job of setting it up to the inside and breaking to the outside. He almost, if he could keep his balance, Leahy would have been the only man left between he and the goal line.
Kurt Sohn on the tackle, a 45-yard kickoff return. First down from their 47. And let's see what Kelly can do as we approach 5 minutes left, fourth quarter. Kelly in trouble. Kelly eluding the trouble. Oh, what a foot. Jerry Butler on the reception, stopped by Harry Hamilton. 28-yard pass play, and this crowd is right back into it.
One of the things that Kelly can do is scramble so well. For a guy so big and strong, he can move, and I think this goes back to his days at the USFL when he ran that run and shoot. You see the pressure coming from the outside. Jackson, 55, and Gastineau. He just avoids them both. Now he's throwing on the run. He says, this is like old times. I did this all the time.
Did you expect such a spectacular debut? Of course, he's had the experience, 2 years in the USFL, but obviously the USFL...
I thought he would play well doing just what he did, scrambling around, making some big plays outside the pocket.
And a first down at the 25. Kelly getting time. And it's broken up. Intended for Reed. Fans here in Buffalo wanted a penalty on Lance Mel. Took the punt from behind Reed.
Reed ran a similar route earlier in the day. This time it's a zone. Humphrey doesn't go with him. Reed sees it's a zone and just stays right there and sets down. It's a good play by Mel to get around the front and knock the ball down.
Very impressive stat line for Jim Kelly.
You see Kelly talking to Bell right there, probably telling him something special to do. I would not be surprised if Bell is not involved in this play. Probably an option out of the backfield.
Second down and 10 at the Jet 25. Kelly rifles, nearly picked off by Russell Carter. Pass intended for Chris Burkett. Right here, we pause briefly for station identification. This is
WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
Capacity crowd, rich stadium in Buffalo on a beautiful day. Temperature in the 60s. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy. We're in the fourth quarter, just under 5 minutes remaining. And the Jets leading Buffalo 28-17, but it's been a splendid NFL debut for quarterback Jim Kelly. Kelly going short. The tight end Metzelar. Setting up a first and goal off a 20-yard pass play.
And Kelly was creamed, Marv. I mean, after he got rid of that ball, Gastineau, really, you know, we look like we're watching Oklahoma or Nebraska. As we take another look here at Gastineau coming around the outside, and Kelly will get rid of the ball just in time, and he is sandwiched in there. Now, I say Oklahoma, Nebraska because third down and 10, they're in I formation. They're not going to spread with 4 wide receivers. They've got their tight end and 2 running backs in I formation in the ball game using play action on third down.
First and goal at the 4. That's Reed, 83, in motion. And Kelly stumbled, able to recover. Looking end zone, pops it, touchdown. Kelly to the 6'7" Pete Metzelar. And the Bills are right back in it with 3:55 left, fourth quarter. Here's the point after by Nolan. It is good. 5 plays, 53 yards, over a minute and 29. And Kelly and his Bills are hanging in, trailing now 28-24.
You'll see Kelly getting stepped on by one of his offensive linemen again. Has the presence of mind to get up. Now everything is just going haywire. He just says, anybody get open. He throws the ball to the Metzlars in the deep in the end zone. You know, Mark, he has brought the level of ability of all of his teammates up about 3 or 4 notches.
A look at the scoreboard in the fourth quarter. Denver by 2 over the Raiders. San Diego leading Miami in the fourth, now 50-24. Cincinnati and Seattle piling it on at the Kingdome in Seattle. Some technical problems as I very suddenly move to the spare microphone. Bumping into Greasy along the way.
I'll give you mine. You can have mine.
Kickoff return by Michael Harper. Tonight, following Silver Spoons and Punky Brewster, it's Disney's DTV romancing classic Disney animation combined with contemporary music from some of your favorite stars like Madonna, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, Huey Lewis, and much more. Then first there was the French Connection. Now the cop that cracked it wide open is back in the world premiere movie Popeye Doyle. That's tonight. And there is excitement here with 3:46 remaining fourth quarter. Freeman McNeil ripping across the 35-yard line.
Well, this crowd is back into it, Marv, and what has caused that is Kelly coming down the field and scoring the touchdown. He's been knocked around. Look at those numbers, 292 yards. The impressive thing to me is on the right, 3 touchdowns, which were really manufactured by Kelly. No interceptions, with a team that he is really playing with and bringing him up to his standard.
Second down and 2 at the 37. Walker, 85 in motion. Here's McNeil. Penalty marker is down. McNeil short of the first down. Against the Jets.
Ball starts, number 63, offense, second down.
Called on the left guard, Ted Banker.
Joe Walton knew he was coming into something up here. 80,000, Jim Kelly. He hoped to get ahead and stay ahead and have a blowout, but that has not been the case. Kelly has brought him back each time. And now the fans are back in it, and the defense is pumped up.
Off that penalty, 2nd and 7, back at the 32-yard line. And O'Brien completes. McNeil with some nice moves. And McNeil gets inside the 45. The free safety, Steve Freeman, on the stop. It's a 28-yard advance. Set for another update. Let's go to Bob Costas and NFL 86.
Marv, that incredible battle continues at Mile High Stadium. The Broncos have come back. First a 51-yard Rich Karlis field goal, then the 7-yarder from John Elway to Gene Lang. They take the lead with about 8 minutes to play, 38-36.
Offside penalty called on defensive end Bruce Smith of the Bills. So the Jets now have a first down at the Buffalo 42. The clock is running, as you can see. Down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, fourth quarter. Johnny Hector could not get going. Tony Furjanic, a factor here in the fourth quarter on the stop.
Furjanic coming right up the gut there on the left side, plays off the block. But you know, Marv, we talked about Kelly with a great day. O'Brien throwing for over 300 yards and really being the catalyst that is moving this ball club down the field. The running game is not going that well, and he is the catalyst, putting the plays in motion, getting the ball in the end zone.
Freeman McNeil, 65 yards, 19 carries. That has been it for the Jet running game. Johnny Hector has handled it 6 times for 22 yards. Jim Kelly pointing out the timeout situation.
He's a fighter. He just gets down with them and says, listen, this is what we got to do. He's been hurt twice in the game. He's got some bruised ribs at least. He also had an ankle. He goes by his center. Ken Hull says, here, you can use my towel if you want to. I need you. What an exhibition he's put on for his first day in the National Football League. And that man right there, I can't say enough about him either. Coming off the great year he had last year, throwing for over 300 yards here today and just doing an outstanding job.
O'Brien emerging as a force, making it to the Pro Bowl last season, completing 61% of his passes, intercepted only 8 times, finished as the leading passer in the National Football League. Second down, 13 at the 45. McNeil for a short pickup. Nose tackle, Fred Smerlas combining with Eugene Marve, and we get the 2-minute warning. And with the timeout, let's pause for these words. Welcome back to Buffalo, where we have seen a duel of quarterbacks. Jim Kelly making his National Football League debut. Ken O'Brien in his 4th year out of California Davis, both from the class of '83, a slew of outstanding quarterbacks, producing the likes of John Elway, Dan Marino.
And both of them doing it in different ways. Kelly, of course, coming in and having to play immediately, not knowing much of the offense, and O'Brien being sat down for a year, 2 years to learn the offense. Joe Walton taught him very well, and you see the two different sides of, you know, Kelly is going to get better and better. I don't know how much better he can get to this, but he certainly is reacting very well.
Team play, third down, 11. O'Brien over the middle and has the first down. Al Toon with a 12-yard pickup. Eugene Marve on the stop. The clock running down to 1:40 left in this 4th quarter.
Just a very calm play by O'Brien. He looked to the left. The back coming out of the backfield wasn't there, and Toon curled into the middle. O'Brien gave him a little bit more time, and just, you know, a couple years ago, O'Brien wouldn't have made that play, Marv, but he's matured, and he knows what he's doing.
First down at the 31. Walker, 85 in motion. And here's McNeil. Picked up 3 on the play. Clock continues to run. And now a timeout is called, and we'll scan the scores. 4th quarter, Denver clinging to the 2-point lead. In the 4th, Miami winning big, rather San Diego winning big over Miami, 50-21. That's a final now. New England defeating Indianapolis 33-3. Kansas City by a touchdown over Cincinnati. And the final from the Kingdome, Seattle 30, Pittsburgh nothing. Timeout with 1:07 remaining in this 4th quarter, and the Jets clinging to a 28-24 lead.
There's a comparison today. O'Brien was 72%. If you look at Zeke Bratkowski in the headset there, Kelly says, I'm going to go down and sit down for a minute. I may have to go back out there. Joe Walton calls most all of the plays for O'Brien, and certainly has done a very good job. Walton was a very smart player when he played as a tight end. You know, it's amazing to me that he played tight end. You know, the guy's not very big. He's about as big as you are, Mark.
Oh, what a setup.
No, I can't say that about Joe. He's much better looking than you. And he's a much better football player.
But like Joe, the quickness is there.
Yeah.
Second down and 6. Tony Page to the 25-yard line. Did you prepare that over the summer? A minute remaining. 4th quarter, and a timeout has been called. We'll be right back. Using its final timeout. The Jets 3rd down and 4 at the Bills 25. A minute left, 4th quarter. And Johnny Hector on the carry, stopped by Tony Furjanic. And Hector picks up the first down. And right here, it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. And And today, co-MVP honors. We split it between Ken O'Brien of the Jets and Jim Kelly of the Bills. And Budweiser will donate $1,000 to the United Way on behalf of both Ken and Jim.
I mean, how can you not pick them both? I mean, you can't pick Kelly over O'Brien. He's done a great job, and Kelly's had a great day. It's just congratulations to both of them.
Apparently they were short by inches, so it's a 4th down play, and Tony Page looks to slash through.
Page, Gary.
He ran over for Janik. That's a big first down. Big first down.
15 seconds remaining. And finally, this crowd beginning to file out. Disappointed about the fact that the Bills didn't win because of the big buildup, but looking at it realistically, a sensational debut for Jim Kelly and his Buffalo Bills. As time is run down, the Bills will play at Cincinnati next Sunday. The Jets have a short week. Thursday night game against the New England Patriots. And the Jets have defeated the Bills by the score 28-24, despite the heroics of Jim Kelly. Marv Albert, along with Bob Greasy from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Again, the final, the Jets 28, the Bills 24 on opening day 1986.